All right. Hey, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Anime Tofu. Now, I know that we have been missing in action for a few weeks because, we ain't got no real particular reason that we just been missing in action because life just been lifing. My friends down there, my co-host, went to like an old man band festival last weekend. Before we get started, let's go ahead and check in with him. Actually, Tofuers, let's ask him, how was it, man? Y'all enjoy yourself?
A lot.
Yeah.
Best thing I've ever been to, music wise.
It was.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
Yeah, it was, and
So,
the video was cool.
All older, or were the bands older?
All of
Both. All of it. Yeah. Yeah. It's funny because I'm looking at these dudes, like in the band specifically that I felt very aged in was a band called Stretch Armstrong. And I remember seeing those dudes for the first time and they were like early 20s probably. And now every single one of them, gray hair. One of them's, a grandfather now. And you're like, daggone, bro. These dudes.
Yeah.
I love it though, man. It was awesome.
But then our group of geriatric travelers, when you would come back to our Verbo after the day of music, on our table, when you walked in, you would see Biofreeze, ibuprofen, and a massage gun.
The party, bro. It was a party time.
That's right.
Hit the Biofreeze, dog, because the knees just be they ain't clicking like they used to, bro. Get your leg lock out there. That's what up. Any particular bands that really, really showed out?
I'm going to give a shout out to one new band that I discovered. Well, I listened to it a little bit before we got there, but 68. If you haven't listened to 68 yet, my new favorite band, hands down. Okay. Two dudes getting up there just doing the thing.
Okay. That's what up.
There was a local band, I guess they were local to Birmingham, that really took me back to like my youth because they were doing it. It reminded me of being at those shows where you're like afraid a little bit, and they were called No Cure. And those dudes went out there and just, man, somebody snapped their ankle during their set.
Not just snapped it, bro.
Ooh, that's awful.
That thing looked like it was about to come out of the skin.
Mojo Jojo was in the pit throwing hands during their set, bro. I mean, it looked nasty out there. And then another shout out to a band out of Texas, I believe. Was it Unity, Texas? They're based out of Texas. That makes sense. Those dudes were unique in that space. I felt I liked them a lot too.
Well, Mojo Jojo was throwing hands. I mean, if you catch the hands all the time, I guess you got to get a hands to somebody, bro. It got to balance out. You can't get beat up all the time. You know what I'm saying? So I get it.
Yeah, it's cool that there was a nice community there. Everybody was, if somebody did knock you down, they were there to help you up. It was good times. There was no barricades. People were jumping off the stage. If you were by the stage, you were at risk, and you just had to know that going in. It was good stuff, man. Had a lot of fun.
It's nice to know that you can get punched in the face, but the guy that punched you in the face will lend you a hand.
We'll also give you a hug afterwards.
Okay. True story.
And then he punches you in the face again, and you just repeat the cycle.
That's right, bro. Punches and hugs. Lots of that.
Yep. See, it's a whole new festival right there. Punches and hugs. Well, glad you two gentlemen are safe, and we back at it. Normally I have some crazy intro. The intro is we've seen the swirls. And that'll play into today's episode. As scary season is upon us. It is October. The leaves are finally starting to change color, and getting a little chilly out here. It's time for that weather. Football's going. Basketball season's getting ready to start. It's great.
People are putting pumpkin spice in just about everything you can think of.
That's been going on for months now, baby.
Yeah, that started in like August, bro. Like they waste no time. July, actually, into July. I did so in this aspect. Somebody sent me that there is a new. He sent me from Southern Tier. They have a new beer that's in line with the Pumpkin. I have to. I'll send it to y'all in the chat afterwards because I don't drink beer often these days, but I'm interested. So. And Pumpkin is exactly what it says, the king. So And if it's from that company, then it's probably really good.
I co-sign. It's the best pumpkin beer out there. And this is the acceptable time of year to drink pumpkin beer where your friends like Virgil and Justin won't shame you for it. So enjoy. Cheers.
Oh, you was buying it in July. I'm like, dog, chill. It's not that time yet. You know what I'm saying? It's too warm. But you can watch horror anime at any time of the year. I mean, some of our favorite animes would be technically horror animes. We all are big fans of Jujutsu Kaisen. We are all giant fans of Attack on Titan. And boy, that actually wouldn't be a bad revisit for the month of October right there, boy. But it you know. Today, we're going to talk about the swirls or Uzumaki. Now, this is not to be confused with the Naruto Uzumaki because it is not that. And I don't think you should probably let your kids watch it. Kind of forewarning, it's got some really, really, really kind of gnarly visuals in this particular anime, which are taken right from the manga itself. So I would give you a breakdown on it, but I think it's actually better to not give you a breakdown on this particular piece. Because to be honest, even if I gave you the breakdown, it's not going to make any sense. It's not going to make any sense at all. So we just going to get right into it. First and foremost, one of the best things about Uzumaki is the visual direction. We got to talk about it because it is one of the most impressive things I've seen in any animation. It doesn't matter what side, be it anime, be just normal animation, adult animation. Man, that shaded black and white look adds so much to the overall universe of this show. It's crazy. How'd y'all feel about it? Let's go ahead and start with Daddy Bo.
Oh yeah, dude, I've never watched anything like it. It literally looked like you take the manga from the store, but it was like a flip book. When you were a kid, you flip the book and the pictures move. That's what watching the show is like. That's the best way I can describe it. It just looks like the manga's moving. It's crazy. It is. It's episode 1 anyway was beautiful.
The dig. Anyway, Mr. Longbeard.
Yeah, I agree with that. And yeah, episode 1. I mean, this is a Tofu bite. We've watched episode 1, so we're basing all opinions on that. But yeah, I think that after watching it like this, I've never seen anything quite like this before, as far as the manga to the screen. And after watching it and just the way that the terror and horror works in this, I couldn't imagine it being any other way, like being in full color or anything like that. I feel like it just adds to the overall like kind of eeriness of the story itself, even though I'm not 100% sure I understand what's happening anyway. But
well, I'll give a little bit of just what I rewatched episode 1 before we did this so I could kind of freshen up. And my understanding is like you have this small Japanese town and they're like cursed by supernatural events, and there's a theming around all the curses, and it's the spiral shape. I don't know if the spiral itself is supposed to be like a demon or a malevolent entity, but people become obsessed, paranoid about these shapes, and then later it just starts causing people to die like in very gruesome ways. And outside of that, that's what I gleaned from episode 1, that this spiral thing is some malevolent entity. Whether they go into it or not, I have no idea. This is only 4 episodes long. It could just be a spooky ghost story, but this is the story. Junji Ito, I probably butcher that name. It's supposed to be his opus. It's supposed to be the thing that put him on the map, and people consider it still his best work.
Right. And with that being said, there's not really any main characters. There was a couple of characters that we saw more than the others in the show, but it's more so about the town itself and not so much focused on the characters. Speaking of which, let's talk about some of this gruesome imagery, because boy, there was some gruesome imagery. Y'all got any particular parts that stand out? Mr. Longbeard, what you got? You got any deaths that you were just like, man, okay.
Well, the dad's death is obviously very gruesome, but the one that I was like, what is going on, was when the girl with a little half moon on her forehead ended up having full-blown spiral face, and then she starts eating herself.
Yeah,
And then she leaves butt sweat on the pavement. And I'm like, all right, 'cause she's gone, but then her sweat remains. And I'm like, all right, well, that's what we got going on.
Hey, bro, when they flushed her eyeball into the spiral like it was a toilet bowl, bro, I was no good.
Hey,
dog.
dude, the sounds when that was happening were disturbing.
Yeah.
The squelching of the eye moving around and stuff. Like, the imagery obviously is disturbing, but then it's the whole experience. You hear the eyeball like disengage, and then you hear it like squelching around in there, and it's like, dude, wow.
Sound effects were top notch A1 in this show. They were great.
100%.
There was a lot. Man, there was so much to unpack. As we talk about the girl with the half moon who was sought after by every man in town except for the one person that she really, really liked. There's so much going on, and then he was the one whose dad died in that really, really strange way. And man, to look at that picture, like that picture is forever etched in my head when he opens the door and you see how his dad had turned into a spiral, and
Broke every bone in his body to be a spiral, bro.
Yeah.
It's epic.
I think something they did well in this show is like they slowly amped up the disturbing factor, because it started out like I felt uncomfortable at first, like the dad's eyeballs are spinning like he's obsessed with spirals, and they slowly build it up like, hey, my dad's obsessed with this. Like, he got mad at us because he didn't have a spiral cake in his ramen. And then the dad's like, oh, I like that pottery you're doing. It makes the perfect spiral. And like, they would slowly show the dad going crazy. He did that weird thing with his tongue, which freaked me out too.
Yeah.
And they slowly built it up until then by the end of the episode, it's just full on like
Chaos.
Chaos. And that bathtub scene with the dad you guys were talking about, something I didn't notice on the first watch, but did on the second one, when Shuichi, the main character guy, goes in there and finds his dad. When he opens the door, behind him, there's a picture on the wall, and it's like his dad screaming in the frame, which I thought was pretty cool too. And I didn't even notice that on my first go. So there's like little nuanced stuff hidden in here too that I think it would garner more than one watch to appreciate it all. But I really liked it, dude.
Yeah.
That's good. It from what we watched, so far, and I mean, we watched a lot of anime this season. This is by far one of the strangest. Man, let's be honest. This is one of the strangest animes I've ever watched. Period. Like, and that's saying a lot. I've seen some strange stuff, dude, but boy, it's probably one of those things that I should probably do what Daddy Bo did, and probably rewatch and just start catching the stuff that's going on in the background, because there was stuff going on all the time that you weren't really paying attention to because you were focusing on the spirals. So what happens if you don't focus on the spiral, and what do you see going on in the background?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, to your point, like the girl Azumi with the little moon on her head, I think Suichi was like the only dude who wasn't attracted to her, because this dude hates spirals that like ruined his family. Like, oh, my dad, that's all he talks about. I hate this stuff. So the spiral thing is what's drawing everyone to her, because everyone in this town's obsessed with them except this dude. So he's like, I don't want nothing to do with her. But
well, wait, but didn't he say it wasn't even just his dad? Wasn't it something that affected his grandfather and like his great grandfather as well? I thought like it was a family ordeal.
I can't remember that, dude. But I know his mom went crazy at the hospital with the spirals too. It like got into her head after what happened with her dad. She's like cutting off her fingerprint.
Yeah, dude, that was wild. Yeah, and she saw it, and it goes back to the thing, like, is this a ghost story? Is it a ghost story? Is it a demonic entity? Being that those are two things that Japan particularly is very fond of, the spiritual world and the demonic world. I mean, it could be either or it could be both. No telling.
Or neither. I think it could just be they're hyper fixating on this specific shape, inciting terror, like, and that's it. And just crazy stuff's happening, and maybe there's no rhyme or reason to it. I don't know. I'm gonna watch all 4 episodes. What I do know is if I see Homegirl eat some dude who touches her little spiral head and then she starts eating herself, I literally was pulled out of the episode laughing when I know it's supposed to be like this.
Yeah, dude, I know what you're doing.
The dude's just in a tree.
My man went straight cat mode. He's just like,
he did. He was like, hey, don't go over there.
He was
She's
like,
eating people.
"Here."
He said she was eating people, dog. He's in a tree. Is that gonna save you, dog? Like,
Bro, and he wasn't even in a big tree. This tree
Nah,
was
bro.
tiny.
It's like my man's 4 feet off the ground. It's like, bro, she's about to get your foot if she just walks over there.
hey, that was hilarious.
It killed me when I was watching it, dude.
Nah, let's talk about the character where bro was sweating so much. The animation
bad
on this
for that
dude
dude.
sweating, dog. Like it was just disgusting watching the episode. It was like, dog, wipe that off. Like, there's no reason for you sweat to just be pouring, dog. Like, wipe it off, bro.
Yeah, dude,
wipe
take
it
care
off.
of that. Yeah.
Was that the dude that got? That wasn't the dude that got 8, right?
No.
Nah, the dude that got 8 was like the guy who kept trying to hit
He was obsessed with her, right? He was obsessed.
And
kept
then
telling
she
her no.
used him to get to our old boy.
our tree boy. I think it goes back to that whole people are just obsessed with the spirals, because she even tells him like it's never going to happen. He's like, I know, but for some reason I just can't quit trying. And she has a freaky thing going on. But yeah, I don't think it's a ghost or a demon or whatever it is. I think it's just this shape. The shape's going to incite fear, and I don't know what to expect from the next 3 episodes.
Anytime though that somebody's face turns into the thing and then she eats herself, it's something.
It is.
It ain't nothing. It's not
right.
like like we just all of a sudden look around. We're like, dude, there's triangles everywhere, and then I just all of a sudden I kill you with my triangle face. It's just not gonna. It's something.
I tell you what it was. It gave me a lot of similarities, as you all are nerdy reads people. It gave me a lot of similarities to Derry. So it makes me think that it's not everywhere. That it's specifically this town. Like there is something going on. But my thing is if you know what's going on, why don't you get the hell out of it? Why are you still standing here, bro? Like, why are you here?
Oh boy,
like I said, this man watched her eat somebody, then eat herself, and instead of leaving, his goofy behind climbed the tree like he was a kitty cat, buddy, and just stood right there. Bro, run.
Yeah, dude.
Run.
Yeah,
or maybe it's normal to them, bro. Maybe they're used to it in this particular town, whatever.
And then they were talking about before the Tree Boy stuff happened, like the thing that sent his mom over the edge, like the funeral, the smoke from where the dad's getting cremated starts turning into a spiral, and you see old boy up there, and it's like, man, this town's haunted. Yeah. Rip to everyone in this town. I expect an absolute spiral-filled bloodbath of disturbing.
Everybody in this town, except for maybe the 2 main characters dying, and even one of them dying.
Yeah,
I think it's old girl. His girlfriend's gonna live. That's my prediction.
Word.
Yeah. She's
the only one. She's the only one that's not really impacted, I feel like. I mean, outside of she sees the stuff and she's terrified by it, but so far we haven't seen her be like, oh, the spirals. Everyone else is freaking out about spirals.
Word.
She's just freaking out because it's happening, but I don't know.
So, man, it's only 4 episodes. Is it going to be any longer than that, or is that it?
That's it.
All right, we definitely we'll have to have a season. We'll have to have a season review on this.
I mean, as of this recording, 3 episodes are out. So
yeah.
So we gotta, because I feel like that's how we end October talking about Uzumaki, because it's so strange.
I hope what everybody says is not true. That's all I'm gonna say.
Nah, it's definitely. And the only reason why I know it's definitely true because boy, the internet and side by side comparisons. Bro. It's like going from your PS5, bro, back down to the N64, dog. It's rough.
Yeah.
Dog. It's rough.
Yeah, there's been some controversy with it was a different studio that did episode 1, and then they had another studio come in for episode 2 and 3. The original studio does episode 4, but they said the producers of the show kind of like screwed them over. And they were like, so basically you cannot finish this thing after episode 1, or you can finish and air episode 1 and that's it, or you just run all 4 no matter, and this is your budget for the rest of it. I'm like, well, sweet.
So they had to get the company from Temu.
Yeah.
Hey, bro, they got Temu and anime companies, bro. Hey, we watched a few. Maybe it's the same studio that
here we go.
You know where it's going.
I do.
It's the same studio. I promise you, if we look at it, it's the same studio that animated the Ninth Gate. Or the
New Gate.
Yeah, it is good. You know what, dude? I'm looking forward to watching episode 2. I can only base my opinions of Uzumaki on episode 1, as is our thing here.
All right, Tofu ratings.
I'm a Tofu rate this bad boy 95.
Ooh, bro, I ain't gonna lie to you. I was going 95 myself.
Yeah,
y'all that strong? Y'all that
based on just this. I'm basing it solely off of episode 1.
The uniqueness.
I'm kicking out all the rumors about episode 2. I would even maybe say 97, but I'll stay 95 because I have been tainted by the things that have been said.
The internet.
Yeah,
95.
Based on just what we've seen, the originality of this, just kind of what's going on, 95 easy.
Man, because of the amount of holy crap moments. And that ain't something that these days, bro, it's not a lot that'd be like, man, like visually, ooh, what was that?
Sorry.
Somebody dropped?
I kicked my mic cord.
I was like, the spirals. Okay.
Yeah.
I may not give it a 95, but I was still gonna give it like a 93, man, because I'm watching. You know how much I've been ready to record this because I want to watch the rest of it.
What a rebel! What a rebel for giving it 2 less points than us.
I will rebel.
Tofu rating 94, everybody. We did it. Still really high. Check out episode 1 at least. There is some bad things about episode 2's production. Hopefully the story's still good. But honestly, the amazing art in this episode 1 is part of what drew me in. So my expectations are on the ground for episode 2. So maybe I'll enjoy it.
Well, my thing is, I don't think that I'll enjoy it. My problem is that the animation is part of what made episode 1 so disturbing.
That's true.
Because it was animated so well, dude. Like you said, when the eye rolled back in her head, bro, you saw where it detached. You could see the piece of it, and you could see it spinning like it was a toilet bowl, dog. Like it, and then we get this Temu version, bro, and we're like, oh. Is that an eyebrow? Is that an eyeball, bro, or is it just some lines? Like I worry.
I'm watching it tomorrow.
I'm watching it though. I'm watching it. Y'all heard it here first. Score 94. We are definitely going to finish this up, and we'll do a review on it to let you all know if it's worth it. Because, man, the internet been kind of rough, but I haven't heard anybody outside of animation though. The internet has not trashed anything else. So
I will say this. We talked about this on Nerdy Reads to promo anime Tofu. And so we talked about the book that came out for this. And if you want to, you can buy this book that's gotten, it's a 4.9 out of 18,000 rated, 4.9 out of 5.
That's beyond solid.
And you can get this for $22 on Amazon. And that's a hardback too, hardcover. So, I mean, if you want to just buy this thing and read it also, if the animation really like ticks you off in some way, but you want to engage in a story, you could do it that way.
Which I'm going to.
Yeah. I'm very tempted myself because just to kind of see how the original creator anticipated this to be. So there's that option.
And we're all about giving options. If you, I might need some help on this because if you like we said, horror themed things with it being October, you can definitely check out one of my personal favorites. It's a movie. Do not let your kids watch it though. Perfect Blue. Perfect Blue is phenomenal if you've never seen it. Also great horror. If you like a little sci-fi horror, you can go with Akira.
Oh yeah.
Also great. Speaking of horror, we just did an episode on Terminator Zero because Terminator follows the original which he based off of Michael Myers, and the anime follows that very, very well and does a really good job of it. So you can watch that. Like we said, you got Jujutsu Kaisen, you got Attack on Titan. If
Death
you want
Note.
something, yep, Death Note, one of my personal favorites. Actually, all of our personal favorites. If you want something a little bit lighter, you can watch Inuyasha. You know, there's demons and stuff, but it stays relative.
And if you really want something that's going to mess with your head, there's a psychological thriller horror-ish anime that just got added to Netflix. So it's on Netflix. It's only like 60-something episodes long, if I remember right. It's called Monster.
He's like only 60.
It's 60 brilliant episodes. That show's so good, man.
When
recommend.
Okay, all right. We missing anything, Justin? You got anything that we might have missed on the horror spectrum?
Yeah, I'd say Hellsing.
Yeah,
is an awesome horror anime. Vampire Hunter D is an awesome.
Oh, Castlevania. Yeah, I don't know if y'all watch Castlevania. Castlevania is absolutely phenomenal. It's really good.
Yeah. So all those vampire ones are really good. Tokyo Ghoul is awesome. I don't know if you guys have watched that, but I like
Tokyo Ghoul, and let's go old school, but super duper duper weird Paranoia Agent.
Oh yeah, dude. Man, that's a good show. Every time we talk about it on this show, it reminds me how much I liked it back in the day.
It was crazy. Parasite, if you never hear Parasite, and one of my personal favorites that neither one of you two have watched, and it was absolutely fantastic. I want to say it's only like 12 episodes. It may not even be that much. It may only be 8. But Chainsaw Man, dude, Chainsaw Man is brutal. But it's really good.
It's on my list.
This is an older anime, but I kind of equate it with Halloween, even though it probably has nothing to do with it whatsoever. But Soul Eater, if you want a little lighthearted, funny anime to check out, that's a good one.
You can even hit the Yu Yu Hakusho, bro. They was in the spirit world. They was, basically they was the Japanese Scooby-Doo. Like, that's what they were doing, except they were actually killing, bad spirits. So there you go. Those are some of the ones that we watched and some of our personal favorites, and you should definitely check out. With that being said, I guess we'll come to our final words, gentlemen. Y'all got any final words? Any final words? No, as always, I know better. Daddy Bojangles, you got any final words before we get to Mr. Longbeard? Because he there's always something.
Oh man, no.
I just have my expectations on the floor for episode 2, so hopefully I'm surprised, because I have heard some bad things on the internet, and honestly, it took the wind out of my sails a little bit, boys. It brought me down, but I'm going to still give it a try.
Those are good words of wisdom.
Thank you.
What was the famous person that said, I'll make these my last words too, when they said something about aiming low? I don't remember what it was. It was a show. I think we've all watched it too. I don't know, but I'm going to go with the same thing. Keep your expectations low and let's go in, Hopefully we could survive till episode 4 when they up the game a little bit.
My last words is they saw a lot of swirls in the sky, but nobody obviously used the toilet. So, hey, it's the only place I ever see swirls these days. But
and there's definitely something. Robert said there's nothing, but it's something.
Okay. What?
I hope I'm wrong.
Hold on. You said, well, hold on. Let's back up. He said there's something after I said the only swirling I see in the toilet is the toilet, bruh. He's saying something swirling in the toilet.
Or something. Robert says there's nothing. There's something. He said it's not a ghost and it's not a demon, but it's just it's nothing.
If y'all remember the great movie of Dreamcatcher, there was something swirling in the world tea. Y'all remember Dreamcatcher? Yeah.
Not at all.
You don't remember Dreamcatcher?
I was really wanting to be there with you, bro, but I just couldn't.
They were aliens, but they were shaped like Dookie. They were Dookie aliens. And they
there you go.
Butts, buddy. Like if you've never seen the movie, it's a watch, but it ain't good. So with that being said, don't forget to check us out and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Anime Tofu. Join our Discord link where you can find more of our hijinks and more of our hot takes there. Don't forget to watch our friends over at Optic Blast Broadcast, and of course, the wonderful gentleman down here at Nerdy Reads Podcast. What y'all reading this week? I saw it and I've already forgot.
We're doing Goosebumps now. We moved back over to
Heck
Goosebumps.
yeah. Any particular one? Which one y'all doing? Y'all doing
Shocker on Shock Street.
That's it.
We're having a special guest, Eric Watson, on our show, and that's the first Goosebump book he's ever read. So that is the one we are covering. Shocker on Shock Street.
Didn't they just release like a new Goosebumps book after like 25 years or something like that?
He's been churning out quite a bit of books. Like I don't know I'm not with it. I stopped reading Goosebumps back in the OG days, so I don't know about this new stuff outside of my kid. I think it's very slappy focused. I know he has a few of them, but I'm not an expert by any means.
You know, it's crazy because Goosebumps got riz. There's a couple of them books that are super duper dark. Super dark. Uzumaki dark. Actually, there's a couple of them, man. You know.
And Ryan ain't ever something about nobody in no Goosebump getting a bathtub and break every bone in their body, you know what I mean?
Yeah. But you remember when the dad was working in the basement, bro, and then he turned into the plant monster, though?
Yeah, I do remember that.
Or what was
out of the basement? Yeah.
It was the librarian that turned into like, I don't even know what she was, bro. She turned into like the ghoul and she was eating the children in the library at the door. Hey, bro, like Goosebumps was wild.
Yeah, Goosebumps looks like they had some stuff like Slappy World from 2017 to 2023, and now he's in the House of Shivers, where he's wrote like 4 or 5 books in the past like 2 years.
Yeah, man. R.L. Stein's still doing a shout out. One of my favorite authors of all time.
Yeah, the movie was actually pretty good. If you've never seen the movie, I would definitely check it out.
I love that.
All right, folks, we are out of here. Check us again for the next episode. Our next episode, I think we're getting towards Dragon Ball week. So y'all definitely got to be there. Check it out. Until then, Tofuers, be safe, be easy. Well, not too easy, but easy enough. Just remember,
slightly easy.
If the baby oil is open and it's a plenty, go home.
Yeah.
Go home.
Don't stay.
Bye.